Hey everybody, welcome to Sam's Outdoor Life. I am only just outdoors today, as you can see. There's a house just there. I'm dog sitting again, so a dog and house sitting, so not at home. But this is a little video because last week I did a fence post, gate post replacement on a very old gate, and I had a bit of the oak post left over when I'd finished. And I had a battered old knife that I'd found in a house I moved into years ago, and the handle had broken on it, and I'd bodged a handle up, and now I've bodged up another handle from the old gate post. But if you're seriously into your beautiful knives and your custom stuff, probably best to look away now, or at least hide your mirth when you see this. Here we are. Yeah. It's carved out of a piece of that oak post. I'm getting nudged here by Benson, and you know, roughly carved with one of my other knives. And as you can see, it's clearly a chunky monkey. But it is a full tang. Look at that! It's a full tang. Yay! Full tang knife. It's a very old knife, but it's a very good sort of just general purpose knife for kitcheny stuff at home, or more often than not at the field. That's where it tends to live normally. You can slice bread with it because it's nice and thin, and yeah, you can do carrots and all sorts of veg and stuff like that. So it's kitcheny prep really for the field. There's the old bit of oak, and these are, all I had as pins was old galvanised nails. Now unfortunately, when I sort of bashed them in, you can see they sort of bent out of where they were. Rather than just sort of like rounding out and binding on that way, they sort of bent over a bit. So this one's bent right over there, that one's gone the other way, and that one's gone that way as well. But it looks awful, but it's okay. I don't mind about that. Rough and ready is my name and my nature. And yeah, I'm just sanding it down a little bit. It doesn't need it, but I'll probably chuck it in some linseed oil or something, just to soak up that wood. Like I say, it's not really going to need it, but I'll probably do that anyway. And then the blade needs a damn good sharpen, because it is blunt as anything at the moment. There we are then, sharpened up and sort of shined up a little bit. Like I say, it's a bit like polishing a turd. I've reborn an old knife. That's the side that's horrible, but functional. Now, things I know, oak will eat through that steel. So in the ideal world, it'd be full of liners. In the ideal world though, the cut I made with a handsaw would be straight. But it's functional, it works, the knife is sharp, and it's ready for use. Ground elder just starting to come through again for this year. This is Jack by the hedge, or Jack in the green. It's often called garlicky, sort of garnish flavour to it. Right, and I've popped inside with my bits from the garden. This is one of last year's potatoes, probably the last decent potato of last year's crop. There's more over here, but as you can see, they're quite keen on becoming this year's potatoes, although I've purchased seed potatoes because I don't want to replant these. But you could do, you know, they would work perfectly well. But I probably wouldn't get quite as healthy a crop as I would do from fresh stock. Anyway, so those are a little bit soft, could use those in emergency, but I managed to find this potato in the cupboard. These are the remnants of last year's onions, tiny onions. This is about as big as my onions got last year. They were all grown from seed rather than sets, and of course with the very dry weather we had, you know, it wasn't a great crop, but they're still hard, they're still firm, so they're usable. As for the greens, we've got nettle tops, we've got ground elder there, which is was introduced, I believe, by the Romans into this country as a food. Largely regarded as a garden weed, and just a garden weed these days, but perfectly edible. These are just some of the potato stalks that have come off in the bag. I did pick up a little tiny bit of ground ivy. There you go. See that? That's ground ivy, also edible. So all these spring greens coming through now. I'm just going to make a nice little soup of that, with obviously the potato as a stock and the onions. So that's tonight's dinner. And of course now I get to test how good the knife is. This is Benson. He's a little tinker, but he's lovely. Yeah. Okay, so we've just got the greens on to wilt, which will of course remove the sting from the nettles anyway. Not that they've got a massive amount of sting at this time of year, as you probably noticed from me picking them. And soften up the onions. I'll add a load of water to that in a minute and we'll get it boiling up, and then we'll add the nettle tops and everything. Always time for tea.
We do know, and we are being reported back, that a lot of young people now are carrying knives because they fear leaving the house any day.
My dirty old garden cup. Not bad. Happy spring tonic, everybody. Cheers from Sam's outdoor, indoor dinner time life.